What was it about spinning and Aqua Fitness
Yeah.
that made you decide that I want to leave my
Yeah.
high-paying corporate job in the United States, come back to India and start this entire fitness movement?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why I wanted to quit my job was because I had this intense passion for doing something for people. Because when you're at a company like Apple, Apple never fires people. They hire around 1% of people. So I could see my next 50 years, which is I'd be working at Apple, I'd be living this life in the US, I'd be a cog in the wheel. But what impact am I making for society?
Of all the events you've done so far, which one really holds a special place in your heart?
Was the event I did. I was pitching to for around 8 months. It was 2 weeks of no sleep. It was PowerMax, who I had worked with a bunch, coming on board at 5:30 in the morning, placing all the bikes.
Let me ask you a bit of a controversial one. If Instagram didn't exist,
Yeah.
would people still be going for this? What do you think? Welcome to the Fit for Life podcast by PowerMax. My name is Atharva Shah. I am your host for today. And before I introduce today's guest, I would really appreciate if all of you watching back home, whether you're listening on YouTube or any other platform, consider hitting like, subscribe, and share so that we can keep bringing you such amazing hosts as today. Welcome to the show, Khyati Kanjani, also known as the Fit Corporate.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going well. Thank you for being here.
Really happy to be here.
Yeah. So, Khyati, I know who you are. Most of our audience knows who you are. But for the ones who don't, who is Khyati Kanjani? Where did she come from? What brings her here today?
So I'm a fitness coach. I primarily teach spinning, Aqua Fitness, and Aqua Sound Healing. And what brings me here is my association with PowerMax, actually. They've been bringing bikes for all my spin events and bringing my larger-than-life events into a reality. So that's why I'm here today.
Yeah. You know, one thing I've always wondered, what's the story behind the name The Fit Corporate? Where does that come from?
So actually, my story is that I used to work in the corporate, in different corporates in the US. I started with finance at Ernst & Young. Then I moved on to Apple. And my page started off as a really small page with just a few of my friends as an accountability thing, because when you start working in corporate in New York City, all you do is you end up working, eating a lot of good food, drinking a lot of alcohol and consulting, and you end up putting a lot of weight. So the Fit Corporate started off as a platform to get me and my friends together to have accountability to work out every single day so that we don't end up gaining that weight.
So, when was the first time when you thought that spinning and aqua fitness are something that have a future in the Indian fitness industry, and wellness events, experience, and fitness experiences are a thing of the present and not the future anymore?
So I think when I experienced spin for the first time in the US, it blew my mind. It was one of the best experiences ever.
Yeah.
It was so good for my mind, for my body, and I wanted to do this every single day.
Yeah.
But each time I came to India for a vacation, there were no spin studios. There were one or two eventually, but they were not at the same standard as what I had experienced abroad.
Right.
So that's why I felt like if it's doing so well abroad, why is it not in India? And then with Aqua Fitness, so I was a competitive swimmer for the longest time. I started swimming at the age of 3. And I represent Maharashtra as well in
wow.
competitions.
Yeah.
So I felt like swimming is such a great workout for your joints and for your cardiovascular system as well.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to make this mainstream and not just for people who have access to club memberships. So those are the two activities which I felt had potential.
So, what was it about spinning and aqua fitness
Yeah.
that made you decide that I want to leave my
Yeah.
high-paying corporate job in the United States, come back to India, and start this entire fitness movement?
Yeah.
Where at the time wasn't as much buzz
Yeah.
about it.
Honestly, I really loved spinning, and I loved the idea of teaching spin in the same standard as what existed abroad. And when I moved back, to be very honest with you, I did not know if there was potential.
Yeah.
I knew that I would come back. I would teach spin at different studios. I'd probably get my own studio and teach. But booking out nightclubs like Bastion, which was one of the first things I did with PowerMax, getting bikes in, all that just happened as part of the journey. It was not decided at first at all, to be very honest with you. So if I say that I knew that this is what I was going to do, that would be a lie.
Yeah.
Why I wanted to quit my job was because I had this intense passion for doing something for people. Because when you're at a company like Apple, Apple never fires people. They hire around 1% of people. So I could see my next 50 years, which is I'd be working at Apple, I'd be living this life in the US, I'd be a cog in the wheel. But what impact am I making for society? None. So me quitting my high-paying job to move back for a job which probably paid me like less than 1% of that salary was because of the passion to teach people and make impact.
Yeah. You know what they say, right? When you actually are about to embark on a journey to do something great, you probably don't know if it's going to work out or not. But
exactly.
That's the fun of the game, and that risk is something you need to be willing to take.
Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly.
Yeah. So, of all the events you've done so far, which one really holds a special place in your heart?
Wow, there's a few actually.
Okay.
So I think my first Aqua sound healing event, which took place in January 2025, I introduced Aqua sound healing to India. It did not exist. Now you see a lot of people do it, but it did not exist back then. So taking that plunge, getting access to that equipment, convincing a hotel like St. Regis to allow me to do it, which was 1 month into my fitness career. It was a really huge deal. And it just gave me the confidence that if I put my heart into anything and I pitch it, it will be successful. That event was very special. And the first spinning event that was very special to me was the event I did at Bastion.
Yeah.
I was pitching to Bastion for around 8 months. And they finally agreed. I launched Bastion Wellness Club with them. And we got the bikes into Bastion. The goal was to get 220 people in, which was the largest that I had ever done. The price point was also pretty high. So I wasn't sure if I could achieve that, but I knew that I really had to give myself that shot. So when that event was executed, it was 2 weeks of no sleep. It was PowerMax, who I had worked with a bunch, coming on board at 5:30 in the morning, placing all the bikes. 200 people coming into Bastion, which they've only clubbed at before or attended weddings at before. So pulling that off was one of the biggest and best feats in my fitness career.
Wow.
These two events were great.
Absolutely. You've taken fitness out of the conventional lens that people view it through, which is the typical gym or maybe some sort of endurance sport, and given it a very unique twist of your own, where you've made it social, where you've made it a fun, engaging experience. Did you face any difficulty convincing the final end consumer that this is also what fitness can look like?
So I would say it's the other way around. I think bringing people into studios requires convincing. But if you bring people into a cool experiential space and you show people a good time, you show people that even if they come alone, they can bring friends in, they can make friends at the event, they can bring their friends in and stuff like that. I think it wasn't super hard. Word of mouth spreads like wildfire. Instagram is such a great tool as well that has spread awareness.
Yeah.
So after my first event, I think it wasn't hard to get people in.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's something you can probably boast on for forever. Like,
No, I think it's also like having great partners. Honestly, if you have a good venue partner, you have a good equipment partner, and if like I'm a good coach, then it's quite easy to get people in. And communities are a big thing too. So I have 4 communities. Each community has around 2,000 people.
Oh, wow.
At the max, at an event, I can host maybe 40-50 people. If I have a large venue, maybe like 100 to 200, but not more than that. So if I can get 10% of even one community in, that's a sold out event.
Wow.
On a larger scale. So I feel like it's not that hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said you have 4 communities. Can you tell us a little bit more about what the communities are?
Yeah.
What are some events you do? Are they specially curated for each community, or are these somehow integrated within each other?
Oh yeah, so technically I would have had like I would have liked to have this one community, but WhatsApp caps it at 2,000 people, so I have to have 4.
Okay.
But it's not required.
Yeah.
They're exactly the same.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, we've worked with you at countless spin events at this point.
Yeah.
Over the past, over one or a little more over a 1 year of association
Yeah.
together. And the energy you bring is electric. It's unreal. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that because this is a part of the
Yeah.
podcast and this is the question I have to ask you. This
Yeah.
is because I have been there myself,
Yeah.
seen it firsthand live.
Got it.
As recently as a month ago at Purami.
Yes.
So, what's your secret of really bringing that electric energy of yours where people are just so drawn to it and it's so contagious that waking up at 6 a.m., showing up for a spin session at 7 a.m. to the same nightclub that probably pre-COVID they would have partied at the night before, but now they're showing up the next morning to actually exercise and work on their fitness. How do you bring about that change?
Thank you for your kind words, firstly. I feel like I have done a corporate job for so many years. I've been at a desk for so many years that this is just me unleashing all that energy. Like, energy can't be created or destroyed. It's just passed from one person to the other. So surrounding yourself with people who you really like, the energies you really like, you kind of replicate that. And the reality is I'm really, really, really happy doing what I do. It doesn't even feel like a job. So that's what brings the energy, because I'm very grateful to be able to do this every single day.
Wow. When it comes to fitness, we have all of these different areas and niches within fitness, and they're all sort of siloed into their own group per se. And the best approach, the ideal approach for most people would probably be to bring about a holistic view of that, where, okay, you have a bit of your conventional strength training, you have a bit of conventional yoga, and then you have spin, you have aqua fitness, and you have a bunch of these elements that you're actually trying to do so that you can achieve your healthiest self. So if there's a beginner watching right now, what advice would you give them on to integrating something that is still not as mainstream as regular strength training or going to the gym? Something like spinning, if they want to incorporate that into their training, how do they go about it?
Honestly, they just start. Spinning is low intensity. Not saying that it's not difficult. Low intensity means that it doesn't hurt your joints. If your form is correct, you'll get like almost zero injuries with spin. So I feel like for a beginner, they can simply go to the gym, YouTube one video on the form on a spin bike, and just start.
Wow. Yeah. Now, this is something I can definitely attest to as a endurance sport coach myself, and because I train people for mainly long distance running, right from the 5K up to the marathon distance. And when we try to improve their cardiovascular endurance, we need to do a ton of it. And we can't do a ton of running all the time because there's only a certain amount that your joints can take. And you can quickly run into injuries when it comes to road running. Which is why we also incorporate a lot of cross training on the bike. To get their cardiovascular system boosted without having that impact on their injuries. So that's something I completely resonate with.
I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah. That's something we do all the time. In fact, I have athletes where we have most of the training volume happens on the bike, and they're actually running lesser than that compared to the time they're spending on the bike.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And we're still seeing great gains, not just in performance, but in health, in general well-being, in their blood markers and things like that. So 100% spinning is probably one of the go-to forms of cardiovascular training. I can 100% agree.
Amazing.
Yeah. What do you think people come back for when it comes to things like spinning, when it comes to aqua fitness, when it comes to hot girl walks, one of your other events? What keeps bringing people back?
There's a couple of things. One is, of course, community. Like, as of now, people love meeting each other. They love coming back to see the same people, the same faces. I feel like when my brand is associated with an event too, there's a certain expectation that it's going to be a good event, in the sense that they will get banned for their buck. So that's why people know that they will get the goodie bags, they will get a good execution, they will have a good time. And third is, of course, like the workout part. That should have been the first, but then with social events, that is obviously important, but not the most important. But they know that they will get a good workout. So,
Let me ask you a bit of a controversial one. If not for Instagram,
Yeah.
if Instagram didn't exist,
yeah.
would people still be going for this? What do you think?
Yes, they would.
They would.
Honestly, Instagram hasn't been around that long, and the spin studios that have been around throughout the world have been. They're like Soul Cycle is the most famous spin studio. It's been around since the early 2000s,
Okay.
and it's still the most successful spin studio. It's throughout the US. It's also in some other countries, and they don't allow any videography inside the studio. In fact, I have something called Underground Collective that you don't see online because we don't allow any videography in that.
Okay.
So we do a lot of workouts. There's around 108 people that are part of the roster, but there's nothing on the internet.
Oh.
So yes, what you see on Instagram is important for people who love Instagram. But there's a whole other section who actually hate Instagram, who hate getting their workouts recorded, who hate posting, and their phones are collected before the workout starts, and they don't do any videos. So no, even I guess I don't remember your question, if it was yes or no, but if Instagram did not exist, people would still be coming in,
Yeah.
essentially.
I think it's about people finding their an identity and
Yeah.
something bigger than themselves in a community
Exactly,
so
spot
large.
on. Yeah.
Where then the only goal isn't just fitness, isn't just well-being or health.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a big social element,
Yeah.
and they find connections,
Yeah,
real ones,
exactly.
something bigger than themselves.
Yeah.
And that's something that post-COVID has really picked up a lot.
Yeah.
No matter if it is spinning, if it is run clubs, if it's high rocks, all of these niches within the fitness
Yeah.
space have really picked up.
High rocks. That's awesome, but yeah.
Yeah, have really picked up on the community aspect
Yeah.
of fitness and sport.
Yeah.
Speaking of high rocks, you've done high
Yeah.
rocks,
Yes.
I believe once, right? So
Yeah.
far. Yeah. How was your experience as doing something that is not your main niche in the fitness space?
It was incredible, honestly. Like being in the same room with like 5,000 other athletes. It was the first High Rocks in Bombay.
Yeah.
So, like just being there with people, everyone's so into fitness who's over there, and that whole workout, it gives you like a high. At the end of High Rocks, I felt like I was high for like 24 hours after.
Huh.
So it was incredible.
Oh, yeah. The kind of serotonin boost you get
Yeah.
when you, or what we also know as, conventionally know as runner's high,
Yeah.
is something that when you get to do it in an air-conditioned room,
Yeah.
you don't have to run outside in the
Yeah,
heat.
exactly.
And do it with so many other people.
Yeah.
I'm sure the atmosphere is absolutely
It's amazing.
electric.
You have to be there to believe it.
Yeah,
That's
I
why
don't think
it's
you can
so
put it into
famous.
words. Yeah, you really have to feel the experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking back at everything you've built so far, what's something you're genuinely proud of all the things that you've done? What if you had to pick one thing, what would it be?
I can't pick. Honestly, like it's just everything. Like I did not expect any of this. I expected coming back to Bombay, teaching at a few studios, maybe eventually having my own studio, but getting so many people to work out. Like honestly, some of the feedback I get from people is that my mom doesn't work out and I got her to this class and now we've started working out. Or like people are like, I've not worked out for a year, but I came across your page through my friend and I wanted to try it, and this has kicked off my fitness journey. Some people who have like knee injuries and they're like, because of your spinning classes my knee injuries have gone down, because I also teach at a studio. I don't just teach
Not
events.
just workshops and
Exactly.
events and all over the weekend.
So a lot of people have come to my studio. I teach at a studio called MMA Matrix. People have come there, they have taken a bunch of classes, and they've said how this has changed their life. And that is what has been super important to me, because both mentally and physically, it has changed who they are. And that makes me feel like I've been able to impact lives. And that was the main reason why I moved back.
Wow.
So that's what I'm proud of.
Yeah, okay, so you can't really pick one, but
Yeah.
the entire thing
The
has
impact
been
on
so,
people's lives,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. This is something that you don't really get into for not necessarily for the money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can attest to this as well, where
Yeah.
we just want to see people's lives improve,
Exactly.
see themselves transform physically, mentally, emotionally,
Yeah.
in so many ways.
Yeah.
And if the money comes, that's a bonus.
Yeah.
Coach to coach, that's a bonus. We know that how good it really feels when someone is able to get past an injury that they had for years, and they were in pain and they just felt powerless, and now they feel like they can do something with their bodies physically without having to be restricted when it comes to their movement.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. And that's something I really look for when it comes to coaches, that are they in it because it's trending on Instagram,
Yeah.
or is it because there's money involved,
Yeah.
or are they really genuinely fueled by the passion of
Yeah.
coaching? When it comes to things like nutrition,
Yeah.
very polarizing topic
Yeah.
in the space. Do you think that nutrition needs to be any different for someone who's a spin practitioner or spin student versus someone who does the conventional strength work in the gym, or someone maybe an endurance athlete? How would you go about advising a complete beginner on what to do with their nutrition? Because sleep and nutrition are two very important pillars along with the exercise that you do, and neither one works without the other two.
Yeah.
So how would you advise someone to go about their nutrition?
So like a complete beginner.
A complete beginner.
Got it. I feel like we've studied nutrition in school, the food pyramid, and honestly, you can ignore all the fluff that we see on Instagram and just go back to basics, which is your food pyramid. So start with a balanced diet, a diet consisting of carbs, proteins, fats, exactly what we learned in school. And if you Google like plate design for nutrition, you'll also be able to see a plate that's broken up into different sectors based on what nutrients you need. And I think if you just start with that, you're pretty gold. So for me, I feel like after this basic nutrition thing, I also have certain items that I incorporate in my daily diet. For example, when I wake up in the morning, I include fresh turmeric and jeera water because that helps like kick off my metabolism. I recommend that to everyone.
Yeah.
There's something called amla murabba, which you can make in Indian households pretty easily. I really recommend adding that to your diet too. And the last thing that which I really recommend is adding salad. So before you consume any of your meals, don't start with your roti or your sabzi. Start with a salad.
Okay.
Start with salad until you're 60% full, and then you go into your actual meal, because then your brain will send a signal that you're full a little bit before, because that is when you're actually full.
Yeah.
I know it sounds a bit convoluted, but it's a very simple science. Just eat a balanced, well-proportioned diet with a few of these pointers that I had called out, and you're gold.
Fiber maxing, as the kids are calling it nowadays.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
See, all these are just terminologies, but you know in your heart what is good for you and what's not good for you. So you just go with that.
We do face a lot of problem as coaches getting people through the door.
Yeah.
Once people are through the door, they're already talking our language, and training people who are already bought in and convinced to work on their fitness is not that difficult. But actually getting them through the door is something that can take a lot of time and effort. And someone who's on the fence of starting their fitness journey, yeah, they know that it's good for them. Of course, no one is oblivious to that, but they still feel like they don't belong there, or they feel like that's a place that's only for fitness hunks, and they are not that. So what would you tell them, and what kind of advice would you give them so that they also can kickstart their journey without feeling like they're behind?
I don't think I would give them advice. I'd actually give advice to like the people who are creating these experiences. So essentially, whether you run a gym or you run a community or a fitness studio, everyone has their own motivations, right? So some people want to be exclusive. They want to limit themselves to like the athletes and the people who are already fit. But if you want people to come in from all fitness levels, then you have to create an environment like that. An environment that's inclusive, where you have people from different sizes, backgrounds, ages. So when I first started Hot Girl Walk, I got a lot of messages from people 50 plus being like, we're not hot girls. And I was like, you can still come. Because by hot girl, it's not how you look, but like how you feel mentally, physically. And if you feel like you're hot, you're hot. So you, as a fitness practitioner, if you want to create an inclusive environment, that's what will get people through the door.
When you have people coming from all walks of life, this is a bit more of a nuanced question where as coaches we understand that things are very context dependent, right? What applies for one will not necessarily apply to the other, and when you have so many people coming from different walks, individualizing coaching and fitness for them is something that is one of the core tenets that we're taught when we first try and become coaches, whether we get a degree or do a certification or whatever it is.
But that's for personal training. So if you individualize it by your personal training clients, but if you're doing a spin class with like 200 people, for example, you show different techniques. Like you say, level 1 is a particular choreography versus level 2 is a different choreography. And I always announce, which is also everything I learned at Soul Cycle, which is that if at any point you want to take a break, sit down and keep riding. If you still are tired, go take a walk and come back. That's the inclusivity of it. So if you're a person who like works out every day and they're doing a one spin class, you go all out, you do exactly what I'm doing on the bike. But if you're a person who's an absolute big no, if you're tired, if you feel like you want to just sit on the bike and dance, you can do that. And that's the inclusivity which you propagate. And for people who want an individualized program, cater to their needs for like, let's say a monthly or a yearly basis, they do personal training with me. And that's a disparity.
All right, let's move to some segments.
Nice.
Yeah. This is going to be fun.
Let's go.
Yeah. So the first segment is called Rant and Rave.
Okay.
All right. What's one thing in the fitness industry that you're seeing is trending right now, is happening at a large scale level, that you're not a fan of and you just, it scratches your ache, you want it to go away? Like, this is not helping people as much as they think it is, but it's actually maybe even harming them, and it's not something that should stay. And then we're going to bring it full circle and you're going to rave about one thing that you see happening right now on a large scale level but is amazing for them, and people should keep continuing on that journey.
I don't have anything for the rant actually. I'm not seeing anything which is really bad for you being promoted, so I don't have anything.
Okay.
Let me think about the rave. Yeah, I have a good one for rave. I feel like there's a sudden trend of brands, similarly which ones? I've seen Whole Truth, I've seen Wellbeing Nutrition, and I've seen the person who does Label Padega India, Revant, his brand, Only What's Needed.
Only What's Needed.
Yeah. So there's a lot of focus on kids' fitness. So I have a niece who's 6 years old, and when she was younger, even though she's just 6, when she was younger and she went to school and stuff like that, there was no focus on kids reading labels. So she did get into eating candy and stuff like that. And obviously her parents are really fitness focused. It's my sister. And they got her into very healthy food and stuff. But in the schools, there was never any focus on sugar readings and what your candy actually has and stuff like that. But now that's changing. So, for example, Whole Truth has these programs where they get kids together and the kids read labels of food through magnifying glasses and they make it into a whole fun program. With Only What's Needed, they've started this thing called sugar boards, where in schools they have sugar boards where kids can see, okay, the Cadbury has so many spoons of sugar, my Gems has so many grams of color. And I think that's amazing. Fitness starts at a kid's level. I used to swim competitively. That's why I had a very good fitness regime, due to which I am still fit today. If I had to start my journey at the age of like 20, I would not have such an easy time being fit. So starting at this kids level by these commercial brands is what I'm a huge fan of.
Do you think that there is an obsessive trend, I would say, behind tracking what's in your food, what's going into your body, and of course, that's a good thing if you depending on the way you look at it. But it can also be extremely stressful for someone who doesn't really have a framework of understanding of how these things work in the body. Can it be overly stressful, and are we going in the wrong direction when it comes to things like nutrition and what's going on in your body?
I don't think so, actually. I feel like, especially with AI, you can just take a photo of your food, put it on cloud, and see what your food contains. So it's made tracking very easy. And are people obsessed with it? I mean, if people are obsessed with it, that's on them. And it's usually just like athletes and endurance athletes, marathons, runners, high rocks athletes who are obsessed with it. And good for them. It being obsessed with your calories, not your calories, actually being obsessed with your macros helps you maximize your performance. So I don't see anything wrong with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The next segment is called unsolicited advice.
Okay.
Okay. So Khyati, you curate fitness and wellness experiences across the city. Let's say tomorrow morning you have a meeting with a venue partner, a potential venue partner.
Okay.
And you need to get to the venue, which is in BKC, let's just say that. And you decide to take an Uber pool for some whatever reason.
Okay.
And your co-rider in the Uber is a typical corporate employee going to their office, rushing in the morning at peak time to BKC.
Okay.
So that they can get to the place of work. The car ride's pretty quiet. You're preparing for your meeting. They're doing something on their phone. You get dropped off first. And you pay the driver, and as you're getting off the car, you are overpowered and overwhelmed, all consumed by this compelling force that really makes you want to give a piece of unsolicited advice to this fellow co-rider in the Uber, the corporate employee.
Okay.
It could be about anything. It doesn't have to be about fitness. Literally anything under the sun. What would it be and why?
I tell him to use his Uber rides to meditate, because if your mind is really, what do you say? If your mind is running all the time, that impacts the rest of your body too. So I'd ask him to sometimes use that Uber ride to meditate, to relax, maybe even hear a 512 hertz sound healing track, so that he optimizes his performance at work.
Wow.
But Uber pool doesn't exist anymore. They stopped it since COVID.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I was not aware of that.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it was a hypothetical scenario, so let's just ride along with it.
Yeah.
No pun intended. All right. The next segment is a rapid fire.
Yeah.
I don't want you to think. I want you to answer
Done.
instinctively.
Let's go.
Yeah. One city you'd love to host an event in?
Spain. Spain is a country. The city would be Madrid.
Madrid?
Yeah.
Why Madrid?
I mean, you got to see the fitness scene there. It's incredible.
Really?
I was there like 2 months ago just to spin. And it's like 50 people waiting outside the studio 30 minutes before class. Just to like get ready, get their shoes on, and just like excited and ready to go.
30 minutes before the event starts.
30 minutes before classes, regular classes, not even an event.
Wow.
Each class is like an event. Like each class is a spin rave.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's unheard of in Mumbai.
We'll get there. I promise you. Yeah.
All right. What's the biggest fitness myth that you see propagated?
That carnivorous diets are good for you. Carnivorous
diets are good for you.
I think it's a myth. I feel like your body can't survive without adequate amounts of fiber, fruits, vegetables, things like that.
Yeah.
Maybe I could be proven wrong, but for now I think it's a myth.
You know, I generally have my own set of opinions in the fitness space, and I generally try and say that, you know what, I'll be happy if I'm proven wrong about this at some time in the future.
Yeah.
This is something I'm completely on board with you, and this is one exception where I'll make to the rule, where I'll say that I will be unhappy if I'm proven wrong.
Yeah, carnivorous diets.
Because, carnivorous diets are, if that's all you're eating, then... Okay, next question. One word that describes Khyati.
Ambitious.
Ambitious. I like it.
Yeah.
One dream collab.
There's a few actually.
You know what? Take this as a sign to put it out into the universe.
Yeah, SpaceX X, the Fit Corporate. They just went IPO, but I've been wanting to collab with them for a very, very long time. Like,
Wow.
I've done spinning in a studio, on a yacht, on in a nightclub, in an office, but like in space, that would be sick.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would be incredible. That would
Yeah.
be a spectacle to watch.
Yeah.
All right. When people attend the Fit Corporate event and they leave feeling energized, connected, and inspired, what do you hope stays with them long after the event is over?
So I say this to my audience a lot, which is like, I know it sounds so counterintuitive, but my goal for them is to not have to keep coming back to me. It's for them have to like work out on their own. Like I want to get people into fitness. I know that my events will have different people every time, but for my actual community, I like them to work out on their own, to meditate on their own. It's like when you have Tinder, your goal is to delete Tinder. The goal is for them to come to my event once, maybe a few times, but eventually get into their own fitness journey, because fitness is not event basis. It should be done every single day.
100%.
Yeah.
A coach with integrity. I like it.
Yeah.
Very rare in 2026. All right, Khyati, thank you so much for being on here. If
Thank
people want to
you.
connect with you,
Yeah.
where can they find you? Where can they attend your regular spin classes along with maybe events and workshops that happen over the weekend? Where can they find you?
Yeah, so WhatsApp, Instagram, and then I do a lot of events with PowerMax too that we like post together, collaborate together on. So you can message PowerMax or me, and yeah, just get in touch.
All right. We will be linking her social media links in the show notes as well, so you can catch it there. Thank you so much,
Thank
Khyati,
you.
for
That
your
was
time.
so fun. It's always
Yeah.
nice to talk to a fellow coach.
Always my pleasure. And this is your host, Atharva Shah, signing off. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. And I'll see you in the next one.